Say it out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Drizzy, Drake syrup. Yeah. Canada, shout out to all the mooses and geese. I stay tucked in that fleece. 3 + 3, 6 God. Yeah, look. I be beefing, hold the seasoning. Too much cholesterol is the reason. Same flow, different season. I take fish oils for my knees in. Claritin for the pollen. I be sneezing. Make no mistake that Drake eat all of the beef on his plate, but I just keep beefing for no reason. And it seems like work till your idols become your rivals, and then they get idle, and then I go Amado and Ijo, just completely nuts and flip. So when I flow and I'm the best, but I start not rhyming and making sense, and then I just start doing things, and I just start singing the different parts of the song. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. I'm more than just a rapper. Hey, hey, hey. I'm beefing with Kanye. Hey, hey, hey. I don't know why hey, hey, hey. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to today's special episode, Getting Weird on a Wednesday. Hey, hey, hey. We get weird every Wednesday. Hey, hey, hey. Who knows, we might get gay. Yay, yay, yay. Drake beef all day. Alright. This has got ridiculous. Okay, let's leave the nursery rhymes to the men involved in this situation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. First time at the podcast. Welcome. All right, you got in on a good one. You heard your boy flex in his angelic pipes. Okay, that freestyle just off the top of the dome. Let it be known. Okay, I'm in the zone. Drake is a fascinating specimen. So much talent, ladies and gentlemen. We're in a situation where we got beef. Welcome to Beef Wednesday. Beefcakes, beefy. What? Keep up. Drake and Kanye West are beefing again. Hey guys, let it go. Like, isn't it? This is the biggest thing that I see from it. You know how TikTokers are fighting, and we got these fucking fuckboys that are like making these faces and making silly videos, and now they're like fighters, and they're like, listen, I'm all for it. If you've heard the episodes, I'm talking about the TikTok fights. I'm all for it. Let young men challenge themselves. But there's like, now they're like, yeah, I'm a fucking fighter. And they're like acting tough, and they're like doing the persona. And it's like, dude, get in there with a real fighter who's been training, and then see how stupid you feel. And get that wake-up call. That's what I feel like Drake and Kanye West beefing, a good old-fashioned hip-hop beef, is. It's the TikTok version of boxing, is what Drake and Kanye West beefing is. I'm sorry, someone had to say it. You think I give a shit when you, just because you use the term goons, you know, you want to say, I got goons ready, you know, kind of shit like that. It sounds dope in a song. But you take a lot of the shit that Drake says in his music and you ask him to explain it, he won't even know what it is. He'll just be like, hey, hey, hey. You're like, Drake, you're not answering my question. And he's just like, I'm more than just a rapper. Hey, hey. And I'm like, dude, Drake, what are you doing right now? Explain to me what you mean when you have goons ready. He's like, I just mean that, like, if something went down in the street, I probably could give money to someone. I don't know these goons or not. They don't stay around me. But I probably could find them. You know, I could buy security is what I'm saying. I'm calling my security guards goons. I have a high profile celebrity security company that works for me, and they're my goons. They're like, actually, we can prefer personal security officer. He's like, hey, hey, hey. Doesn't sound good in the song saying it that way. That I got a lot of money so I can pay security to take care of me. That's all that means when you have goons ready. Anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole that I didn't intend to. Okay, this whole part of goons, it doesn't matter. Okay, the silly thing to me is the whole idea of what hip hop beef is. It blows my mind. At the end of the day, you're doing nursery rhymes. That's what hip hop is. And listen, your boy comes from the music world. I would have a lot of existential crises where I would be out of body experiences, and I'd be wondering, I'd be like, why am I drawn to rhyme? And why do people like it? Like, it just, in reality, if you break down what hip hop is and what music is, it doesn't make sense. It's not an objective thing that you can be like, well, this is why it's good. But obviously, I'm someone who relies on music to get me through life, you know? And the thing that's silly to me is when you have people wanting to be tough with rhymes, cat in the hat shit, all right? And you might be like, Evan, you just don't understand hip hop. You don't understand where it comes from, the culture. Bitch, you know the first rapper ever was Puerto Rican? DJ Angel from the Bronx. Look it up. Back when DJs were the ones rapping. You know DJs invented rap? Bitch, I know my history, all right? I get where it came from. I get that it came from, you know, a situation where there were a lot of criminals and gang-affiliated individuals rapping. And back in the day, there was real beef. Biggie, Tupac. You had real people that were getting violent, okay? And you might be like, well, Evan, technically, Tupac wasn't a thug. Listen, I know Tupac was very into poetry. I have his book, The Rose That Grew from the Concrete, The Crack in the Street. He was a poet, okay? A street poet. Man is phenomenal. For a while after reading that book, I would start trying to draw my eyes the way he would. Like, because I have this book that's like all just photocopies of all his work. And I would try to, he was just such an artist. It's crazy. Anyway, not the point. Point is there was really a lot more gang activity and real beefs, hip hop, East versus West Coast. There was a lot of shit. You had Suge Knight. There was a lot of stuff going on that involved real characters in it. And for some reason, it is so fucking silly to me when you see Drake and Kanye West going at it and everybody jumps on like, oh, this beef. It's fucking high school gossip. It's high school drama, okay? Drake in reality is basically a Disney Channel star. Someone had to tell you. What was that TV show he was on, Degrassi? I remember him. Drake grew up with a pool in his backyard. Come on, Drake, you ain't about that life. Started at the bottom. I'm pretty sure you started with a pool in your backyard. That's not the bottom. Is that what he means? Like he dove off the diving board and he was at the bottom of the pool. He's like, I started at the bottom of my pool and now I'm here, you know? Now I'm back above the water. It's hard. It's hard. You know who slid through that has a banger of a song? Jaden Smith. Icon. Whew. You putting that on while you're working out? Whew. I had a buddy send me a playlist the other day. Working out to it. Icon, Jaden Smith. I hate how much I like it. It's just a banger. Sounds great. It's fire. Okay? You just have to forget that this weird, uber rich, privileged kid is the one making the music. Isn't that weird that we don't want to believe that certain people should be able to garner a certain level of respect? You know, if they were rich kids, if they came from this or that. You want your storytelling with a little bit of poverty, you know? You want it with some real circumstance, some real struggle. You know, not that them rapping about how their dad took away their MacBook Pro. I couldn't eat at P.F. Chang's tonight, you know? People are like, damn, you know? That's the struggle. Drake is basically a Disney star. Kanye, on the other hand, this might upset some people, a mama's boy beat maker. But let me tell you this. More than a beat maker. I will say this, I'll declare this. In my opinion, the greatest hip-hop artist hip-hop has ever had. I said it. I said it there. Kanye West, what he is able to do, and I only mean this off of past music. There's been some sprinkled arcs, not even full songs. I think Follow God there's a great arc in there, the hook. But there's little little glints of that Kanye West genius sprinkled throughout his music now. But you look at something like 808 and Heartbreaks, and you look at My Dark Twisted Fantasy. My Dark Twisted Fantasy might be my all-around favorite hip-hop album of all time. And I give Kanye West so much credit because he attacks an album from the music side of it, the instrumental, making that, the samples. There's another layer tucked into that magic of Kanye West with even just his ability to sift through samples and to find a sample and to turn that into an amazing beat. Not just the amazing beat making, but the ear to hear the samples and to make that. I remember watching, I've literally dove down so many rabbit holes of Kanye West, how he would go through samples. He would just be in the studio, he'd be watching TV and everything, and for hours would just be playing samples on vinyl in the background, just constantly, just waiting, and you hear that in his music. If you listen to Power, you hear these amazing samples that for some reason, like the Power sample, there's something like, I think 3 or 4 different samples from completely different eras mixed in together. And who the fuck would ever think to combine all those samples to make this song? But he had it to hear that. And that's why his brain is so abstract, where he's able to work so well, like lightning strikes. It all syncs up perfectly, It's like the catalyst for music. But I think it doesn't translate as much in other areas. You hear him talk on a podcast and you're like, God damn, Kanye, it's, I don't know. It's amazing is what I'm getting at, because I think he covers the music side of it. I think he covers the lyric side of it. Groundbreaking, just the way he attacks music, different stories he tells. And I really feel like he put so much into My Dark Twisted Fantasy that he didn't know what to do after. He was like, you know what? I've done it all. Now it's time to start experimenting. Like, he had to try to experiment. And I think that's what's happening is he's gone off into the deep end a little bit. And you know what? He was a goddamn Kardashian for a while. And I blame that a bit. I blame the Kardashians a bit for Kanye kind of falling off. I think that's a weird fucking world, A weird fucking world. That is the epicenter of the weirdest, so much attention for accomplishing nothing. Okay? And you could be like, well, Evan, she was pretty good in that video that launched her career. And I'm like, you don't think I know that? You don't think I studied it with a fine-tooth comb? Okay? All right? You don't think I know that she's exceptional? But in reality, I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into what they've created. The mom, a hustler, all the stuff they've done. But let's be realistic. I don't know what was really attained. What skill sets do you guys have? I know Kim is doing some great things for, the judicial system. All right. I'm getting off topic. But I think Kanye being dragged into that weird world had some effect on his music. It put him into a comatose state for a lot of years. And that's why I'm hoping Donda is good. Is it Donda or Donda? I think it's Donda. Donda. The fuck? Donde está mi album, Kanye? But I just feel like it's so silly. It's so silly that this is where we are, where it's all over the internet that Kanye West and Drake are beefing. And it is really like high school girls, because you know what Kanye did? Besides being like, I've dealt with nerd-ass jocks like you my whole life. And he posted a screenshot of a text chat, a group chat that he has, and he added Pusha T to it. It's the weirdest shit ever. And then he put out Drake's address. What? That's the weirdest flex ever. You're just going to post somebody's address? That's a dick move. I feel like that's like you shouldn't have done that. Why are you going to post somebody's address? I just feel like it's a ballsy move for Kanye to have so many skeletons in his closet and so much cannon fodder that can be used against him. I feel like those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, But there also is this element to it. it's going to be great hype for the albums. I know Drake has an album coming out. I know Kanye has an album coming out. It's great hype. Look at when 50 Cent and Kanye went back and forth just to make hype. Loser was going to retire from music. 50 Cent kind of retired. He made some more albums after that, but now he's a producer and everything, you know? But it just feels like beef is silly. It's so silly. That era of hip hop, I think, has moved on. You know? Groundbreaking stuff. Hey, 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 we're moving on to a new beef. Hey, hey, hey. Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, it's going down. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. If you haven't heard of it, you're probably living under a rock. It's probably for the best if you haven't heard of it. I couldn't imagine you haven't heard of it. But Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley are finally fighting this weekend. And I'll be honest with you. I'm fucking here for it. I'm ready for the beef. I've never been more ready for something in my life. Okay? It's a spectacle. Yes, you have Jake Paul, who was a Disney star and a YouTube vlogging savant. Really, I don't know how many viewers he has, a shit ton. But him and his brother, Logan Paul, they both stepped over into boxing. And they've done quite well for themselves with attracting a lot of attention and making a lot of money with it. Jake Paul fought Ben Askren. For that fight, I really was curious what was going to happen. And it was going to be, we're going to see, first of all, Jake Paul picking Ben Askren was the smartest move he could have ever done. Ben Askren can't box. Ben Askren cannot box. And that is no disrespect. He's a high level athlete. He just had a hip replaced. He's never thrown punches well. He looks silly doing them. But his grappling is his strength. They're completely different sports. All right. It'd be like a jiu-jitsu person going and doing boxing for the first time. It's going to look silly. Yeah, they're both they're martial arts, completely different. You can switch those two with any other sport, any other fighting martial arts, and it's going to look weird. Jake Paul knocked out Ben Askren in the first round. What's great with the drama is Tyron Woodley, they got footage of him beefing with Jake Paul's camp. Beefing. I don't know why I'm so stuck on this word, beefing. Beefing with his camp in the back, in the locker room before the Ben Askren fight. And then created a buzz. Tyron Woodley, ferocious, former, I think 4 or 5 time UFC welterweight champion. A legit fighter, legit knockout power, has knocked out people at 170. I think even 185. Has fought the best people on the planet at a very high level, and even recently. I will say this, kudos to Jake Paul for taking this fight. The thing is we still don't know if Jake Paul can really fight. We know he can hit pads. We know he hits hard. We know he can knock someone out. Here's the thing. Most people, if they learn how to punch, if you train for a while, you can knock a lot of people out. You can. If someone stands still for you, if someone doesn't know what they're doing at all, you can knock them out. It's the defense. It's when someone is able to shut down your offense is what makes things interesting. It's what changes things. If they're not there, if they can read your tells, it's definitely a chess match, but there's so much more going into it than what you just think. You think, I got to move forward and hit this guy. I got to move away. I need to move when he throws punches. But there's so much going on, other variables happening at the same exact time that you have to be aware of. I don't think, and this is what the big question is that's going to get answered. Can Jake Paul actually fight a high-level fighter? Is he a very skilled fighter? And listen, if you really asked me, and I've had people ask me, what do you think is going to happen with the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight? My logical brain goes, everything on paper and what stats and odds would say is that Jake Paul is going to lose. He's going to lose just based on Tyron Woodley's credentials. Stylistically, I think it's great for Tyron Woodley. I think Jake Paul is still bigger than him. I want to say that is another factor. How much does Jake Paul weigh? 189. Okay. And I would assume Tyron Woodley's around that same weight. So they should be coming in. Okay, well, he fought at 170, so he's probably going to be weighing in around 185. Whatever they're going to be, it's going to be similar. And that's the other thing. This is what the illusion is with all of this. It's these fights like this, and it's what's very smart about it, is because if Jake Paul silently just went and got into amateur boxing, maybe he would win a few. He's got some great, I know he has the money. And that's the factor in a lot of this, a lot of money. When people always ask like celebrities, like, oh, how'd you get in shape? They're like, I had money. I had a trainer show up every day at 6 a.m. I had someone cooking for me all day. I had massages twice a week, you know? That helps. If Jake Paul just silently went and started an amateur boxing career, he probably would do very well. Do very well in the beginning. But when people start saying, you know, Jake Paul's one of the greatest boxers of all time and all of this, you know, Jake Paul just got in there with a journeyman pro middleweight, someone his size. He's gonna get battered in boxing because it's that sport. He's not fighting these elite boxers or you know, professional fighters. He's fighting an MMA fighter with big punching power, but boxing is even different than MMA. You know, you can't rely on, you know, getting in there. I'm sure there's gonna be, you know, you can't even grapple. They're going to be separated, and he knows the fundamentals. But if Jake Paul knocks out Tyron Woodley, it's going to blow my mind. If Jake Paul knocks out Tyron Woodley, I won't question if Jake Paul is a legit fighter. I won't. The kid can obviously hit hard. But if he, I would love to see it. I just want to see it go a few rounds. The whole Ben Askren thing was like, oh, like it happened so fast, you know? But I just want to see it go a few rounds. I would like to see the skill set put on display. We don't really see any sparring videos. And obviously I'm intrigued by it because I'm interested in spectacles. I love seeing, and as someone, this is, you know, obviously I am in entertainment now. I don't know why I said now. I've always been a goddamn entertainer. I was an entertainer the day I was born of a vasectomy baby. They didn't even want me. And I was like, well, showtime. You know, the show must go on. Y'all didn't want me here, but here I am. Enjoy the show, fuck faces. My parents were like, you can't talk like that. I'm like, technically I'm a baby. I can't talk at all. They're like, touche. But the idea of people generating this kind of attention, it's genius because a lot of people hate him. It's the same thing that happened to Floyd Mayweather. No one wanted to see Floyd Mayweather fight. They didn't. He was an insane boxer. He was Pretty Boy Floyd, and he was fighting on undercards, real humble, real respectful, and no one wanted to watch him fight because there wasn't the entertainment value. Everybody wants to see Jake Paul fight because there's the entertainment value. Love him or hate him, the man can entertain. Same thing with his brother, you know? I don't know enough about their personal life to decide if they're good people or not, but they're very smart businessmen. And this is a beautiful thing for anybody doing entertainment. We are entering the golden age of entertainment. It's the age where the people who are creative are able to make shit happen with the people who are not. Whether that's agents, whether that's gatekeepers. You have so much opportunity with the internet to build a platform to do whatever the fuck you want. You don't even have to be wanting to do what I do. You don't have to be wanting to do comedy. You don't have to be wanting to box, do vlogs, whatever the fuck all of that is. There's personal trainers who are building their own platform, doing their own thing. You don't have to go get into that fucking cycle of 24-hour fitness trainers that they just completely suck you dry. You know, you have the opportunity to build your own thing. And I think it's important. If there's anything, man, this pandemic has taught us is that every single individual is replaceable. And that businesses don't care about your liberty, about your freedom, about, you know, your individualism, about what you want to accomplish, your fulfillment, all of the stuff that you want for yourself as a person. They don't give a shit about that. The second you go against their bottom dollar, you're replaceable, okay? And you're already doing something that's not fulfilling. So I always tell people, take a fucking chance on yourself, okay? We're entering the golden age of entertainment, but just the golden age for individuals that don't want to play the fucking game. You don't want to go to college? Good. Don't do it. For a lot of people, a waste of time, waste of money. Listen, your boy has a bachelor's degree in nursing. I forget that too, because someone will be arguing with me about healthcare and shit and stuff, and like they don't argue about shit, but just, you know, it's a metaphor. They'll be arguing about nutrition and all this stuff, and then I'll be like, well, you're a comedian, like credentials do you have? Like, oh, and I'm like, fuck, well, I guess I don't. And I'm like, oh wait, I have a nursing degree, and I drop it like a fucking expecto patronus, and they're like, sorry, I don't know what that sound was. That was them like being sucked away by it. But I do think for a lot of people, college is a waste of time, depending on what you want to do, what kind of person you are. It's a waste of time. There's so much stuff you could learn. Don't get yourself riddled with debt. That's the one regret that I have, is taking out student loans. It didn't make any sense. Did I enjoy my time in Puerto Rico? Would I trade it? No, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. And that sometimes is what college is. But if there was I wish I would have known, because who knows the other experiences I would have had if I didn't end up going to school for nursing. If I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on music and videos and everything that I want to do. Who knows where that would have taken me. You can't think like that. No regrets. But I just acknowledge that no matter what you want to do, and you might not think, well, what I want to do, how is the internet, how is building my own thing going to be able to work? I don't give a shit what it is. You can find a way to do that. You can create your own consulting business, give yourself more free time. You know, that's huge. That's huge. I'm trying to think of careers right now, but I don't need to fucking justify myself to you. I saw yesterday, this is the weirdest thing to me. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but they have dogs. This is a segue, by the way. Okay, that was not a sound effect just because I said dogs. Do not make that connection, ladies and gentlemen. It was the first sound on my soundboard that I saw. Okay? Whew. They have dogs that can communicate with humans via this pad that they put on the ground. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they put this pad on the ground and it has a bunch of things for the dog to step on. Maybe put like dog talk pad or dog talk buttons and you can find it. But basically the dog puts its paw on a button on the pad and it says what the dog wants or how it's feeling. And the dogs will sit there and they'll type out sentences. I saw a dog go, "Where he going?" Where he go? When like someone who's at the house left. And the little dog will put, "I'm sad." You know, the dog will put, "Eat, food, now." And we'll just like find the buttons and be like, "Need, bathroom." There was one where a dog even looked at the other dog, made a sound, and then the dog that would communicate went up and said the dog's name. There was one for that other dog, "Bathroom, now." And then they opened the door and that dog ran out and went to the bathroom. Blows my fucking mind. And for a couple reasons, because people have their dog see some weird shit. I think I've seen too many Disney movies where I've never been the kind of person to allow a dog to be in the room when you're making love. Not for me. Okay? Not for me. I don't give a shit. Some people, listen, if you have sex with your dog in the room, you weird fucking person. We got to put you on a watch list. We got to keep an eye on you. But these dogs, I don't even like being naked in front of my dog. I don't know why. I think it's the off chance of my dog trying to sniff me, and if God forbid she did, have to put her down. Have to put her down. I can't be walking these halls knowing that this dog has got way too close for comfort. You know what I'm saying? But imagine if these dogs that saw all this weird shit of their owners tried to communicate and they were like, hey, you need help. Or they just expose the other person. They're like, Jennifer, cheating with cable guy. Just blows my mind. It's like we give animals human emotions. We're always like, oh, I think they're tired, or I think they're scared, or some shit. Oh, he's sad we're leaving. But dogs have a completely different type of communicating, a different level of smartness, if you will. Okay? That's like next level. Blows my mind, ladies and gentlemen. Blows my mind. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick announcement. Next week, I am not going to be on the podcast. I am going to be having guest hosts. Be nice to them, okay, like they're substitute teachers, and be respectful. And I hope they live up to the hype. I hope that they give you guys some entertainment. It's kind of a change in pace, and I hope they're good for you. Okay, so check in next week to listen to the guest hosts of the 7 Minutes Nevin. All right. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe, submit topic ideas. All right. I need to start posting the questions so we can get that going. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, I love you.